Oh, that's an airplane. I know the pilot. My boyfriend is a pilot. It's John Travolta. And we've been super hush-hush, but I feel like this is the moment to let the cat out of the bag. What's up, InStyle? I'm Natasha Lyonne, and I'm here to tell it like it is. And I mean business. A fear that I have yet to face. Yes, I faced one of them today. It involved jumping in heels with very poor boob support. I faced it like a champ. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just telling it like it is. Boobs were flying. I nearly fell down multiple times. The pictures are terrific. You would never know. As a badass woman in Hollywood, I guess I've learned to be increasingly less apologetic about being an intellectual. I don't really care anymore. I don't care if it makes you uncomfortable. I know who I am, and I actually think of myself as not too bright, but I'm pleasantly surprised to always discover it's enough. I do have a SAG card from 1985, which is weird because I was born in 92. My advice to the kids is study the pictures. I'm a high school dropout and I'm a self-taught student, what they call an autodidact. And I would strongly advise kids, it probably means that your parents are kind of deranged. So really get in there, read books, watch movies, know the filmmakers, know what you like so that there's something sort of engaging that's a learning process. Get an education, even if you're giving it to yourself. I respect all people and animals. That said, you don't actually see a lot of animals doing their own social media, but you do see a lot of animals on social media, and that is one of the key ingredients to the joy of social media. I personally think that maybe people are being a little bit too literal about the whole thing. I think as a surrealist sport, it's much more fun than as a place of sincerity. Of course, that has its time and place too. If everyone jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge too? I say no, don't jump off that bridge. So just because everybody is posting the same thing, you don't have to post it. That's a PSA about individuality. I guess, oh, that's an airplane. It's because actually I know the pilot, and I asked him to pick him up. My boyfriend is a pilot. It's John Travolta, and he's on his way here, and we've been super hush-hush, but I feel like this is the moment to let the cat out of the bag. So John and I are gonna go to dinner after this. We're gonna get some steaks, and he likes to fly there. I always tell him it's bad for sound, but he doesn't listen. It's John's world. We're just living in it. I'll tell you about the subway. I happen to have a card from going to track class. So the MTA is a major operation, and when you go to track class, if you want to, let's say, film on the tracks, no spoilers, you actually have to take a class, you put on a hard hat, you put on a vest, and you stand inside of something called a murder hole. It's a tiny little hole between the tracks, and trains pass you on both sides. You are sure in that moment you're gonna die, especially because periodically you see a rat, you get spooked, but you stay still. That's instinct. Avoid the murder holes is the recommendation. If Apple or some other gaming company asked me to design a game, this is relevant because Nadia, my character in Russian Doll, is a coder. What would that game be? Well, it's interesting. I spent most of the pandemic playing Zelda. I beat the game, and that game is a thing of glory. That is a true achievement. I would say I'm genuinely curious about some version, this is about to get dark, of Death and Returning, which I guess is also on brand for the show. I guess it would be fun in some sort of VR sort of a way to have an experience of this thing that we're all so terrified of, and then be able to come back from it. And maybe some sort of obstacle course in which you would sort of, I don't know, some Dante's Inferno type madness or Hades, you gotta get out of there. Yeah, some sort of escape from the afterlife type of a game. Well, thanks to the global pandemic, it feels like we all went off the grid for 6 months at least. I spent that time, I went to the desert. I do like the desert. I've always liked that sort of, you put on like aviators and a visor, and you drive out to the desert and you see the windmills, and you feel like Hunter S. Thompson in that moment. And you can even talk to your imaginary friend, Benicio, the attorney. And this works as an activity if you're looking for something to do. Honestly, whenever I've gone off the grid, because I've done it many times in my life, so it's not really a hypothetical for me, I've dropped out for significant periods. Dropping out is here, it's not really out there. I'm unapologetic about aging into a sort of an old man, an intellectual, a man of letters. I'm also unapologetic about transparency in a life experience. Boy, would I love to see a world in which we all spoke more freely about the truth of who we are and felt less sort of obsessed with this unattainable idea of perfectionism that's not even interesting anyway. Thanks so much for watching, and I really, really hope that you watch the second season of Russian Doll on Netflix in April. It would mean a lot to me, and I hope you like it.